Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations, as we are down that slide now to a conviction. The identity that Luke Atme wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer, of course, is what we're going to go for, as I said at the end of last episode, because it seems Cain Bullard knew his trick, knew his scam, was after that red diamond. He got his reward for handing back that picture. Interesting. It's to further his own ace detective things, and he even got the reward as well. Good going for him, wasn't it? Well, let's hit that gavel down on the answer and keep on going. Let's get Luke Atme. Luke Atme was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Cain Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit, that does sound a little odd, but it happened. We know it happened. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Cain Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Ron Delite was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emnon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans.
Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Ron Delite was actually Master Mask.
That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delite steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme. In fact, in a sense, there basically are two Master Masks. One's the brains and one's the actual brawns. Not that you think that guy could possibly be bronze, but still.
Shh! Silence!
He. Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? Sunny, with a chance of rain. How did you... You say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Ron Delite? In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Ron Delite started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime.
Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Ron Delite was Master Mask?
Well, you know, he was there, and there's like Ron randomly in a background. And he hid his costume in there. He probably found the costume. He also looks like with that finger on his nose, he also looks like he knows. He knows. Haha. I'd say that. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. It gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention.
What do you mean?
This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delite in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delite. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask? Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Why you? How dare you expose me like that? Why I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
Why you?
How dare you even dare imply that one so smart could never fall to lowly depths? Why not try something yourself with those big mouths of yours? You're really fools, I say. None of you can compare to my genius. You're really just jealous so soon. Desecrate me, commemorate me. There is nothing great. Ace detective could not handle blackmail murder threats. It's enough to make one laugh. What?
I couldn't keep up. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme.
Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme.
Objection.
Really? How many cups of coffee is this?
The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
No, you won't. You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws aren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite.
What do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder.
That's right, that's why he's the one who killed Mr.
But there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was a KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way!
Order in the court! Well, Mr. Wright?
This is it. This is the final round, is it? I've got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? I don't actually think we've got any evidence.
That's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer.
I think all we can prove is that there were 3 people there, not who the other person was. We're kind of screwed. At night, Luke Atme was at KB Security and the defense... We can't prove it. No, we honestly can't. We maybe have a reason for him to be there, but we can't prove that he was there. I mean, we know the alarm was hit, we know a keycard was used, but we know the keycard was Ron's. We know the blackmail letter was sent to Luke Atme, but even that, I don't think, would help. Damask's brooch, would that help in any way? I don't think so. Nor the paint marks. Nor Ron's testimony. The buzzer record itself just says that it went off. I don't think we can. I can't prove it. Please don't have screwed things up. We know that sometimes we have to actually admit our failings to actually progress in this game. So, please, God of Phoenix Wright, e.g. the judge, be lenient.
Just as I thought.
Doesn't sound like he's lenient at all. But, if we hear more of Detective Atme's testimony...
Objection.
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean.
What?
Have you forgotten? Luke Atme is here after we interrupted his own trial, and you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Master Mask.
No. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that, just as Ron Delite will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give him now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... By then, it'll be too late. Huh? Why?
Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court law.
Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that a defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is the fundamental rule of all courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atme will be found guilty in the matter of minutes. Guilty as Master Mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Cain Bullard is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atme's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Cain Bullard's murderer.
Wah! Now there's nothing I could possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, look at me, will go free.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atme.
Objection!
It's time. I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you?
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice! No way! Long time no see, Phoenix.
Mia!
This is the true power of the Crane channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this.
But there's nothing more we can do, Mia!
Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine, so please bail me out yet again. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that, just as Ron Delite will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Cadeau?
Nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at...
Let's hear it.
Huh?
It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
A tone shift? A tone change? A freeze? What's going on here?
Mr. Cadeau, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Luke Atme. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance.
Yes, Chief.
A boss is still a boss, dead or not. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delite. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delite was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. Oh? And the blackmail letter. The victim likely just mistook the colour of the jewel. Zavali! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. You just incriminated yourself so well. Oh, yes. I feel it inside. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. No, it doesn't.
The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Ah.
Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
We cannot postpone Luke Admey's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec, just one chance?
Ha! It seems that the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. No, it's the testimony itself. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? So I have to press. At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. What, really? Like game over lose?
Cup number 17, the last cup. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in his testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence, okay? Which means all I can do is to find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. I'm pretty sure you're meaning you get a game over me if I don't get this right.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination.
I only get one chance, I can't present evidence, and I can only press. Well, at least I know what it is, so we're safe. But is this like an instant game over moment? I don't want to scroll past it either. There. Please? Mr. Admey, about this last remark.
Objection.
You still don't get it, do you, trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Admey, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder.
How can you say that?
Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Admey? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delite was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct?
Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. Don't realize what you just said then.
More like your deductions prove that you're a fool.
I'm sorry. Whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delite was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my 6th cup was looking at me with a cold stare.
Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. He's still in the costume. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know of this are those who've been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Admey? There is no way you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask. So then, enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Well...
Objection.
Come on. This detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
Like he was always in the costume? And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delite was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Admey to have found that out.
Only one. One way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delite's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
Objection.
But Mr. Delite never saw his attacker. So there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Admey.
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delite saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delite.
Impossible!
And do you think it was with the Shishishito? Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Cain Bullard and assaulted Ron Delite. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. We've got him. 100%. It's the meltdown. He's going Super Saiyan. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
That's the same line you gave yesterday.
But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time.
What an awfully complicated incident. Cain Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delite. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delite. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime.
And to that end, he came up with this plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me?
I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me!
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict.
I know. You never committed any murder.
That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Master Mask!
Huh?
So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? He double jeopardied his way out! What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it, I've been careless.
Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent? It would seem so. For now.
For now?
He can be tried for the other thieveries, can't he?
And now then, this court finds the defendant.
We got there! Again, technically. Twice! Boy, this is really lucky. Do I get paid twice? Wait, this isn't so good after all. See, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all. He still wants to go down, doesn't he? I think he wants to be found guilty in a way. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Mia doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Mia, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Crane Channeling School? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delite. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this has happened. Come on, just be happy already. Mia, you've been cleared and the murder charges got off as Master Boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Master Mask? Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can. I kind of wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delite, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. Don't be so obvious, game. Take that! The Sacred Urn? Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine.
You don't have to worry about anything.
There you are. It's Yeah, I'll just miss the H. Mr. Light. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy.
Oh, I can feel my face going red.
Mr. Nick, Mr. Mayor, congratulations!
Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick, how could you, with another man's wife in front of Mr. Mayor? No, you've got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you, never!
So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. I hope my head can. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. And so we reach the end of the Stolen Turnabout. Another mission, another quest, another something case done. Which means we move on to a recipe for turnabout. Murder in the kitchen? I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out next time on Trials and Tribulations. Bye-bye.